It's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet our country Christmas bell ornament. This is our 5th crochet pattern in our series of country Christmas patterns. Last week we did our country Christmas angel hot pad. We did a Christmas tree ornament, we did a heart ornament, and we also did a star. So star, heart, Christmas tree, country ornaments, a country angel hot pad, and today we're going to do our country Christmas bells. Now they measure about 5 inches tall, and you can see they don't have to be made in a country Christmas cotton yarn, and we'll talk more about yarn in just a second. Now these make great ornaments, of course. They also look nice hanging on gift bags and packages, and make a bunch and make a bunting to decorate with. There's lots of uses for our country patterns. And you can find the crochet pattern link for all of my country crochet patterns along with this one down in the notes underneath this video. We're going to begin by stitching a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 4. We're going to stitch 8 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. We'll go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and go through the second 2 loops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we'll chain 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we have our chain 3, and then we stitched 8 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook, so we have 9 double crochets. We're not going to join in a circle, and don't worry about that hole. We'll come back in and fix that later. And this is how row 1 should look. This is the top of our bell. Now, our chain 3 here is going to count as 1 double crochet, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to stitch 3 double crochets around this last double crochet. So yarn over, go in between those 2 double crochets, and we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Our chain 3 counted as 1, and we stitched 3 more. We're going to stitch 1 double crochet in that hole in the center, and then we're going to stitch 4 double crochets around this last double crochet on this side. So we'll go in between those 2 double crochets and stitch 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 double crochets, and we'll go ahead and chain 3. All right, so we stitched a chain 3, we stitched 3 double crochets on that double crochet, 1 in the center, and then 4 on this side around the double crochet on that side. So we have 9 double crochets and our chain 3. There we go. For row 3, our chain 3 counts as our first, and all we're going to do is stitch 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets across. Our chain 3 counted as our first, And so we'll stitch 8 double crochets. So we'll have a total of 9 double crochets. There we go. We're going to make sure we get one in that last stitch and chain 3. And actually, after this row, we're going to chain 4. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets and a chain 4 for row 3. Our chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch and double crochet in the next and chain 1. We'll skip the next and double crochet in the next and chain 1. And we'll just repeat this across this row. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 1 spaces. After we stitched our last double crochet, we chained 3. And we're going to turn. We're going to stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. And that's going to make it so that we increase by 1 stitch on this end. Now we're going to stitch a double crochet in the first chain 1 space. Then we'll stitch a double crochet in the next double crochet and continue this across, stitching 1 double crochet in each double crochet and chain 1 space. And when we get to the last stitch, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in that last stitch. 1 and 2. And then we'll chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so let's take a look at it. We had 9 stitches on the previous row, and now we have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now we have 11 double crochets for this row. And for row 6, we're basically just going to repeat what we did for row 5. We're going to stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3, which will give us an increase. And then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in each stitch across. And then when we get to our last stitch, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in the last stitch. And so now we've increased from 11 to 13 double crochets. And this time we're just going to chain 1. Double crochets, chain 1. We chained 1 and we're going to turn. We're going to single crochet in the first 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slip stitch in the top of that single crochet, and I'm going to go through both those loops, pull that loop through, and then pull that loop through the loop that's on my hook. That's going to form the little bell that goes in our big bell. All right, so now we're going to single crochet in those last 6 stitches. And see how that looks? That's the bottom of our bell with our little jingle bell that goes inside a bell. Now we're going to evenly single crochet up the side of our bell. All right, so I want to put a second single crochet in that corner. And now we're just going to work up the side, trying to get our stitches in the sides of those stitches. And there is not a set amount of stitches right here. We're just evenly single crocheting up the side. And we're going to do this till we reach this top part up here from row 1. The key to keeping it smooth is to try to stitch in the side of the stitches and not the holes. All right, so now I've reached the top of my bell where we did that arch sort of. We're going to place 1 single crochet in the first single crochet there. Then we're going to place 2 in the next 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's going to help it move around that a lot neater. Now in the next one we're going to place 1 single crochet. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slip stitch in the top like we did down there at the bottom. And then we're going to single crochet in this same. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll place 1 single crochet in that last stitch of that top, and now we're going to evenly work down the other side. So let's take a look at it. We did 1 single crochet, we did 2 in the next 2, and then at the top we did 1 single crochet, our chain 4, slip stitch and single crochet in the next stitch, and then we stitched 2 single crochets in the next 2, and then 1 in the last. We began with 9 double crochets at the top of our bell, and we used 2 of them for row 2, so we had 7 double crochets to work those single crochets in. All right, so now I'm just going to continue where I started to evenly single crochets down the side of my bell. And again, there's not a set amount you need here. You just need to look, make sure they're close but not too close, and that they lay pretty. And again, try to get your stitches in the sides of the stitches and not the holes. It will give you a much neater appearance. All right, so I'm down here where I first started. I want to put a second single crochet in that corner. I'm going to cut my yarn. This is the front of my bell, so I'm going to weave that into the back by pulling that loop to the back and tying off to the back. All right, let's take a look at our bell. We have a little tidying up to do. Let's go ahead and weave this in, and we're going to close up that hole. So I'm going to go to the back of my work, and I'm just going to go around these stitches that we made on our first row. We're going to close that up. We're going to go through those stitches there. And just close up that hole. All right, I always like to go back the other direction just to make sure that that is going to hold. There we go. And we'll clip that off. And then we need to weave this one in, and then I'll show you how to add your button and your ribbon to top off our country Christmas bell. So I finished tidying up my country Christmas bell, and now I want to add the ribbon. So I'm just going to go in this hole. I have my piece of ribbon I've already cut about 12 inches, and I'm going to pull that through because that's our little hanger. And then I'm just going to tie that little knot. And then I like to trim these so they look nice and pretty. There we go. So now my bell has a little hanger, but I want to add that button. And since my buttonholes are so tiny, I'm not going to be able to get my needle through there. I'm going to go ahead and use my E6000. This is my go-to glue besides my hot glue. Just put a little on your button and put it on right there at the top. Now, you can decorate these how you want to. You can put ribbons and bows and however that you want. But this is my country Christmas bell. So we made this green one today. This is the red and beige one that we did. And I really love the way this yarn works up because you never know how the colors are going to land. But if you want to make sure they land correctly, you can always cut them and make sure, like do this edge where I have green in the cream. That's totally up to you how you like to do it. And of course, you can use any yarns that you like. This sparkly one is beautiful. And so that is our country Christmas bell ornament, our 5th crochet pattern in our country Christmas series.